What if everything you've been calling luck is actually a strategy you haven't decoded yet? That random opportunity that changed your career, that chance meeting that opened doors, that perfect timing that saved your business. What if none of it was random? What if there's a hidden code running beneath every so-called coincidence? Stick with me until the end, because I'm about to show you how history's most successful people weaponized what everyone else dismissed as chance. This is going to flip everything you thought you knew about success. Why elite performers never believe in coincidence. Let me break something down for you that's going to change how you see every win and loss in your life. Here's the brutal truth that separates legends from the forgotten. They don't wait for luck. They create the exact conditions where lucky breaks become mathematically inevitable. They understand that coincidence is just causality you haven't traced back yet. Take Napoleon Bonaparte. Everyone thought his victories were lucky timing. But dig deeper, and you find something else. He spent years studying terrain, weather patterns, enemy psychology. He engineered scenarios where what looked like luck was actually calculated probability. He didn't get lucky, he made luck obsolete. Or look at Steve Jobs. People say he was lucky to catch the personal computer wave. But he didn't catch it, he created it. He saw causes most people missed. The need for simplicity, the desire for design, the gap between technology and humanity. He didn't wait for coincidence. He manufactured it. This is the law of causality at work. Every effect has a cause. Every single one. The problem is, most people stop looking for the cause too early. They see something they can't immediately explain and label it luck or fate. That's lazy thinking. High performance means digging until you find the root cause of everything. Why did that deal close? Why did that relationship fail? Why did that product pop off? There's always a traceable chain of events. Always. Think about professional poker players. They look lucky to amateurs, but their reading tells, calculating odds, managing risk, controlling emotions. What you see as luck is actually thousands of micro-decisions creating favorable probability. They're not gambling, they're engineering outcomes. The moment you stop believing in coincidence is the moment you take back your power. Because if nothing is random, then everything is influenceable. Every result you want has a cause you can create. Every outcome you fear has a trigger you can avoid. This isn't motivational fluff. This is how the real game works. Success isn't a lottery ticket. It's a forensic science. You reverse engineer the result you want, identify the causes that create it, then systematically implement those causes. That's it. That's the whole game. But here's where it gets darker and more powerful. If this is clicking for you, drop causality in the comments. What's one lucky thing in your life that you now realize you actually created? Hit that like button if you're starting to see the pattern. How your unconscious patterns are sabotaging you right now. This next part might sting, but it's exactly what you need to hear. If every lucky break has a hidden cause, then every disaster has one too. And here's the truth, bomb. You might be engineering your own failures without even knowing it. Your unconscious patterns are running code in the background, creating results you think are bad luck. Look at the Challenger space shuttle disaster. Everyone called it a freak accident. But when investigators dug in, they found a chain of ignored warnings, organizational dysfunction, pressure to launch, flawed O-rings. The tragedy wasn't random. It was the inevitable result of accumulated micro-failures. Now apply that to your life. That business that suddenly collapsed, was it sudden? Or were there months of cash flow warnings you ignored? That friendship that randomly ended, was it random? Or was it 1,000 small neglects adding up? That health crisis that came out of nowhere, did it? Or did years of poor habits finally compound? Most people sleepwalk through life on autopilot, repeating the same patterns, then act shocked when they get the same results. They blame the economy, their people, timing. But causality doesn't care about your excuses. It just keeps compiling your inputs and delivering your outputs. Here's something wild from quantum physics that ancient thinkers already knew. The observer affects the observed. Your beliefs literally shape your reality. Your mindset creates filters that determine what opportunities you see and which ones you miss. You're not a passive receiver of random events. You're an active creator of probable outcomes. If you want different results, you need brutal honesty about your causes. You need to audit your daily habits, your thought patterns, your decisions, and ask, what future is this creating? Because it's creating one. Guaranteed. The discipline of high performance is mastering causality. It's becoming so conscious of your actions that you can predict your results. It's understanding that there's no such thing as random success or random failure. There's only conscious creation or unconscious repetition. Every pattern you run is either moving you toward mastery or toward mediocrity. Every micro-choice is a seed. Every routine is a system creating specific outcomes. The question is, are you aware enough to see it? So how do the real masters weaponize this understanding in the real world? If you're recognizing patterns that have been running your life, drop awareness in the comments. What pattern are you about to break? And subscribe, because we're going way deeper into this. What chess masters and cybersecurity experts know about creating luck? Let me show you how two of the sharpest strategic minds operate in real time. An elite hacker never breaks into a system by chance. They spend weeks mapping vulnerabilities, testing entry points, studying human behavior. When they finally get in, it looks like magic to outsiders. But it was pure applied causality. They created the exact conditions for the lucky breach to happen. Magnus Carlsen, the world chess champion, has a saying, "I don't wait for my opponent to make mistakes. I create positions where mistakes become unavoidable." He doesn't hope for lucky breaks. He engineers situations where the break favors him. He manufactures his own luck. This is elite-level thinking. It's understanding that the universe isn't rolling dice, it's following laws. And whoever masters those laws masters the outcomes. Consider Kevin Mitnick, one of the most famous hackers ever. He didn't just use technology, he used social engineering. He created scenarios where people, coincidentally, gave him exactly what he needed. He manipulated human causality. Trust creates openness. Urgency creates mistakes. Authority creates compliance. You can apply this anywhere. A top-tier salesperson doesn't wait for the client to be in a good mood, they create the emotional state. An elite athlete doesn't hope for a good day, they control nutrition, sleep, training, visualization. They eliminate as much randomness as possible from the equation. The gap between amateurs and professionals is this. Amateurs react to what happens. Professionals create what happens. Amateurs explain failure with bad luck. Professionals perform autopsies on causes and adjust their systems. When you stop believing in coincidence and start hunting for root causes, you become a detective of your own life. You start seeing patterns that were invisible before. You realize that chance meeting only happened because you were in the right place, and you were only there because of specific decisions you made days earlier. Everything connects. Every action has a reaction. The question is, are you conscious of your actions? Or are you on autopilot, waiting for the universe to save you? Winners don't have better luck. They have better systems. They have clearer cause-effect awareness. They've trained themselves to see the invisible chains that connect actions to outcomes. And there's an ancient training method that perfected this skill. If you're done being a victim of circumstance, drop systems in the comments. How will you start engineering your outcomes? And if this video is rewiring your brain, smash that like button to help it reach more people who need it. The ancient mind training that makes you a causality master. What I'm about to share is how to train your mind to become a magnet for favorable outcomes. Ancient warriors didn't just train their bodies, they trained their perception. They developed what they called mirror mind, a mind so clear it could reflect reality without distortion, seeing cause and effect with surgical precision. They practiced something specific, causality meditation. Every evening, they'd retrace the day's events, asking, what did I do that caused this? What did I fail to do that allowed that? It wasn't about guilt. It was about total awareness. It was about becoming a master pattern recognizer. And here's what happened. Over time, they got so good at seeing causes that they started predicting effects. They became natural strategists of their own lives. They stopped being surprised. And when you're never surprised, you have the advantage. Now, bring this into your world. Imagine doing this every night. That pitch that flopped, what did I do 3 days ago that set that up? That client who signed "What seed did I plant" weeks back. You start seeing the invisible web of cause and effect governing your reality. And then you can intervene. You can plant better seeds. You can cut toxic patterns at the root. You can build personal systems where success becomes probable, not improbable. Neuroscientists today confirm what warriors knew centuries ago. Your brain runs on patterns, and those patterns create your perceived reality. If you train your thought and action patterns, you literally rebuild your personal causality. Look at Elon Musk. People think he's lucky to have multiple successful companies, but he operates in pure causality. He identifies problems, creates solutions, iterates fast, removes failure variables. He doesn't let chance govern. He engineers results. You have this same power. The difference is he's conscious of it, and most people aren't. High performance is this: extreme awareness of cause and effect, applied with brutal discipline. So here's your final challenge. Stop waiting for good things to happen to you. Start creating the causes that make good things inevitable. Be the engineer of your luck. Be the architect of your coincidences. The moment you realize there's no such thing as random success is the moment you become unstoppable. Because if success isn't random, it's replicable. And if it's replicable, it's learnable. And if it's learnable, it's yours for the taking. If you made it this far, drop engineer and tell me, what's the first cause you're going to adjust in your life? Share this video with someone who needs to stop blaming bad luck and start creating their own. And subscribe to the channel because we're just getting started excavating these secrets. Disclaimer: this content is for educational and motivational purposes. Strategies should be adapted to your individual context. Success requires consistent action and personal responsibility.